What made it this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is my reading of Sonichu. Hey, we're back with Sonichu. Took me a little bit more than what I was expecting because I was too busy doing him right after I completed the video, and among some other stuff. But I saw that the response for the previous one was the first one was pretty good. I'm pretty good to my standards, which means that I got like 50 something views for us until the recording of this video and like 4 likes or something. For my standards, for those standards, it was pretty good. So I was pretty happy about that. It was to be expected, to be honest. I mean, it's Sonichu. So welcome everybody. Gather around because we're gonna start. This is the second issue of the comic from the era of what I like to call the pre-troll era. I don't remember. I read the comics like almost 2 years ago. I already explained that, but I read a bunch of them, and I always forget exactly when does the troll impact on the comic start to reflect. I don't remember. I mean, by troll I mean like internet troll, like right after Christian started to get noticed and it started to impact his life in a way that he started to put that in the comics. Because in the previous one and in this one, you still have the pure Sonichu, right? Where he's just like, it's still very based on fantasy, made up stuff. Like he's focusing on the story of Sonichu, and he's inserted on the comic, unlike the later on the post internet troll era where it's all about him. But we're gonna see that later on when we get to that part. We're still in this zany, goofy, very tropey, very stereotypical anime style with these really tired tropes that are very reflective, especially of the time, like the things that he grew up with and everything and all like that. The tropes of the origin story, and it got its powers by a freak accident and blah blah blah. His involvement and demeanor in the comic is still very kind of pure and innocent, kind of like very pure Christian, like the way he used to be. He's still not aware. He's still not aware, let's just call it that. Yes, he has no idea what's gonna happen, and what's all of this, what he's doing right now, is going to end up with. What we're gonna leave that to the context part. Let's get to the juicy part. Let's go. This is gonna be a short one. Alright. Sonichu in episode 2, Genesis of the Lovehogs.
Since my transformation, my new bigger body needs more food than before. And nuts and apples can't cut it. It's been over a week now. I'm so hungry. Not only that, I feel so lonesome.
Sure. Can you imagine if you're in the middle of nowhere, stranded, with no food or water, and your priorities are I need to find a source of water and food, and I also don't have a girlfriend. And then you wake up in the hospital listening to the staff. Doctor, how is it? The analysis came true. He has an advanced case of anemia and dehydration. And what about the girlfriend? I haven't seen a case like this in a long time. It's a grade 4. Damn it, doctor. This is worse than we were expecting. Is there anything we can do? At this rate, our only hope is she needs to be really, really, really cute.
Oh damn, some hottie right there. Look at that. Whoa, she's hot.
And she runs away.
Where's she running off to?
15 minutes later. Damn, that's a lot of text.
So she lives in that cabin
Because obviously he just stalked her.
So she lives in that cabin, huh? And with her trainer. Ooh, and she's kind of hot too. And with her trainer, maybe I can get a bite as well.
Sure. Yeah. Just try to crash into a stranger's house.
Did you have fun, Rosie? So. Well, come in, and I'm fixing some Brunswick stew.
And the microwave.
Since my transformation last week, I felt so lonesome.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Christian is a fluent master in the Spanish language, isn't he? And he was born in February 24th, Mexican Flag Day. He's technically Mexican, like for real. Christian, aka El Gris. Christian Chamberos. Christian Ricardo Chanderos, alias El Richie. Richie, this is actually his bizarro counterpart, Ricardo Chamberos. Richie Chan. Richie Chan. His Mexican counterpart. He was from another universe. Who instead he was born in Mexico, like the opposite United States. So he was born in Mexico, and his name they named him Ricardo. Richie Chan. And since his Mexican opposite, he was never into the Mega Drive, the Genesis, because the Genesis never really made it to Mexico that much. It was like, yeah, whatever. It was more Nintendo hood all the way. So yeah, it was all about Nintendo, Mario, Mega Man, and like. So unlike Brazil, Mexico was Nintendo hood. Sonic was like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but it was Mario. So he was into Mario. His medallion is Mario, Pokemon trainer Mario, who captures Pokemon in the Mushroom Kingdom, and he fights Bowser, not Robotnik. And since the Sega never made it to Mexico that much, not with the same impact, he was never into Sonic. So that means he never became a furry. So Sonichu is not his weird, freakish, furry son. Instead, Mario, his best pal, Mario, the Pokemon trainer, with a Pokemon trainer hat. His best pal, Mario Ketchum. Because he's not a furry, because Mexas are not really that much into furry, and that's more of a first world problem type of shit. Jeez. Unless it's Mexa Zoomers. But Zoomers everywhere are kind of the same. It's like a unified hive mind, you know? Zoomer, millennial type of shit. Wait, I'm millennial, aren't I? Oh, gee. Around La Colonia, they call him El Gris, with his overly priced custom Sonichu Jordans and in his Italica hair. Weirdly enough, same shirt. But a hat with a rooster and an esclava, a gold solid gold esclava there with that says Rosichu. His masculine father figure is not Optimus Prime, it's Goku. It's Piccolo. That girl from the mall was an OXXO employee. One of those OXXO waifus. Yeah, he would regularly frequent that OXXO where she used to work there, and he would just like creep around when he was just, like trying to like talk to her, and the scene with the date is not on the food court or Burger King or whatever it happened. It was in the same. It was because it was one of those OXXOs, that the fancier OXXOs that have like an area with the tables, and that's where it happens. And years later, he would make like a Poke Stop there in the OXXO. Weirdly enough, I had a sort of date in an OXXO with a Chinese friend I used to have back then. Oh yeah, huh? Fuck yeah, we were friends and we were kind of weird, like not certain of like what to do. Pretty much, like I don't know. It was weird. It was like there was some tension there, and one time we just like went to an Oxxo and we ate something there. Yeah, it was kind of a date, I guess. Weird. I did that back in like 2009 or something. 8? No, probably some. I'm rambling here. We were never anything beyond friends. I mean, how could you? I mean, what the fuck are you expecting to happen if you take your cute Chinese friend to an Oxxo? Funny enough, according to this guy that I saw an interview of that was in charge of the concert that actually happened, Radiohead was mugged in an Oxxo once back in the 90s. Make that whatever you want. But supposedly, this is a true story that actually happened. Supposedly, Radiohead. Supposedly, they stopped by to get some snacks or goods or whatever for the road, and some guy entered with a machete and robbed the Oxxo, including them. Again, supposedly. Radiohead. Mexican references none of you people watching would understand.
Since my transformation last week, I felt so lonesome. Because there's no other Pokemon like me to love, you know? Aw, relax, Rosie. What about my Dragonite? David, he's loyal. Oh, come on, Kel. David's just too big. I mean, she is right. David's just too big for me. You can have. I don't want. I don't want it. Well, I can't say that I didn't try. Hey, for all we know, your love could be just around the corner or right at the door.
Look at that. You're never supposed to do a cut like that in a frame of any kind. Movie, picture, comic, in a panel, anywhere. You're not supposed to do a cut like that. You're supposed to use the frame to focus the attention of the element that you're trying to utilize for the narration of the scene. And the ponytail with the ear and the broken nose are not the focus of attention right there. You can tell he realized he fucked up and he used too much space for the speech bubble, and he tried to squeeze her in there, like trying to move her face, sort of, and that's why she has a broken nose. He could have just turned her head the opposite direction and fix the problem, or you could use that same cut just as he did it if there was a noise that she was listening in the background, right? And if the center of the vignette is the background, something in the background, she can hear it somewhere. In the foreground, what you can see is just her ear and her shoulder and her ponytail. We're gonna let it slide just because Sonichu wouldn't be as funny if it was perfect like that.
What? Oh, no. Oh, right at the door. I got that. Hello, hey, I'm just a wild one who hasn't eaten much for over a week. Can you help me out? I believe it. I have some Pokemon who is like me, and I've got to learn more about him. Come on in.
Damn, she's horny.
Whoa, she's horny, dude. She's fucking shit. She's fiery. What's your name? Sonichu.
Damn, girl, horny as fuck. Look at that. She's fucking.
My name's Sonichu, but you can call me anytime.
Okay.
How about I call you Rosie?
And hearts.
Hey, Cal, we have a guest.
And she.
That's my nickname. Good boy. I thought I was the speeding one.
I know, right? Dude. I mean, that's cool. She's horny as fuck. I mean, a guy can't really complain about that.
Well, I think she's cute anyway.
What are you doing here? What do you want? You want to climb up there? Atlas? You never climb up there. What are you? Why do you want to climb up there? You never do. And what? What's going on? What do you want? What do you want? ¿Qué quieres? Nunca te subes para allá. Nunca te subes para allá. No te hagas. ¿Tienes calor? ¿Eh? ¿Tienes calor? ¿Tienes calor, hombre? No está dando vuelta. No, ni te vas a subir. ¿Para qué te...
Who is it, Rosie? The stew is almost ready and Cal, this is Sonichu. He wishes to break bread with us. Hello. Wow, another hedgehog Pokemon and a meal for Rostichu. Oh, this must be fate. It's nice to meet you, Sonichu. Have a seat with Reese. The stew's almost ready, Rosie. It's Reese or Rosie? What's she talking about there? The stew's almost ready. Entertain your new boyfriend. Wow. So, what's your favorite color? Yellow? No, blue.
One night, a few days later.
It sure is.
What?
Isn't the sky romantic? It sure is.
Why is it backwards? This is in manga.
I could just sit here and look at it for hours with you. Yeah, but then we'll fall asleep together. And I wouldn't have it any other way, Rosie. Oh, Sonichu, I'm so happy with you. I love you. And I love you, Rosie. As often as birds treat, you are my lonely heart sweet. I'm Sonichu,
and then they're gonna kiss. And what are they? What is that panoramic there? What is that? Are those trees? What the fuck? How do you make sound effects of sounds of rockets? Because that's what's happening right there. Right? It's fire. It's fireworks, and they make out, and they. Oh, I never noticed that they tie tails together. Assuming that's another way to say sex. Sonichu, it's a Pokemon, so catch him on Game Boy Advance. Sonichu Advance, Sonichu Advance, Sonichu Advance, Pokemon Lightning version. Oh, Pokemon Lightning version. Get Seven with him and Chaotic Combo. Game Boy Advance and Pokemon are registered. Game Boy Advance and Pokemon are registered trademarks of Nintendo of America. All coverage material are copyright March 2020-2005 by Christian Wettersander. It's so cool that he added the advertisement like that. I've been reading other comics and we find the advertisements there, and it's cool that you find them here. Anyways, for context, this is an issue that he made before the Troll sagas started, and because of that, it still has that comfy, very childish and zany style. You can tell the things that were going in his mind because that was literally the things that he used to include in his comic. I mean, he still does put the main issues in his life in his comic. Like later on, you see Clyde Cash and Liquid and people that actually exist in his life existed at that point in when he made those comics. And in this one right now, the only real life people that used to appear in that era of comics before the Troll sagas were Mary Lee Walsh and that girl from the mall that he liked. And oh yeah, and whatever her name was. Yeah, did he make her appear in the comic before or after the Troll sagas? I don't remember. But and you know, Mary Lee Walsh was the one taking down his love sign for his love quest from the walls in school for all the right reasons. I mean, she was just doing her job, but in his the demented mind, he thought it was being wronged. And it bothered him so much that he made her into the main villain of the comic, doing exactly that, ruining his love quest. The real life things that used to appear in his comics were these zany shenanigans that happened to him, like the incidents in the mall that we haven't seen yet before, but we are gonna. And but you know, it was very much based on fantasy with inserts of his life here and there, and that was very fun. I mean, it makes you feel that you're actually watching a kid doing those things. You kind of forget the fact that he was like in his 20s or something. But still, it's endearing enough, and that's why I like it. I see it as if a little brother or something, or a little cousin or nephew or something of mine did that, and I was like, oh, that's very good, you know. But it's not. It's a fucking grown ass man. But I mean, we all know he had a problem. There's not much context to actually dig up in this comic, because this issue right here, because this is pretty much all just his, like, the story that he was doing. I wonder what would have happened if he had never been discovered, and or at least not like that, if things happened differently. And so the trolls didn't happen as they happened, and so the sagas never really started, and he just kept making the comic, and you know, the storyline kept being Sonichu and whatever shenanigans he was probably thinking about doing. You know, he never became the Christian, and the trolls didn't affect it or got involved in the comic. So the original storyline is like the past in Dragon Ball. You know, the original storyline in Dragon Ball is not the one that you see. The original storyline that you see is the Trunks line, the future Trunks line, the fucked up one. That's the one. That's the real one. And the one that you follow with against Cell and Majin Buu and all that shit, it's actually an alternative version. So you're kind of seeing the alternative version. You're not seeing the real one. It's very interesting. I never thought about it. Maybe a future Christian that actually happened. A future Christian did come back in time to kick himself in the balls. Yeah. Huh. A future Christian comes back and prevents the trolls. So he just keeps going, and he ends up like living his life as a lonely virgin with rage, with looking for his boyfriend free girl, 18 to 23, or 18 to 21 years old, and he just like keeps making Sonichu until the end. And who knows how it was supposed to end? You know, fighting against Giovanni and probably still holding a grudge against Mary Lee Walsh. And there's no liquid or nothing like that. There's no Clyde Cash. There's no Idea Man. So probably Christian and Sonichu end up destroying Team Rocket, right? And Robotnik at the end. And face off against whoever. I don't know. Chris becomes a Pokemon champion. They end up fighting Mewtwo. He doesn't get married to Mewtwo, So he probably ends up fighting against Mewtwo and rescuing him and like becoming his trainer. And he ends up fighting against whatever other villains are in the Sonic games. I know in another video I said I own most of the Sonic games. I don't. I own most of the 2D era games. I mean, I'm probably missing like two, like Sonic 3D and the one from the 3DX or whatever it is, and that's it. Anyways, yeah. What if you start seeing like Mario? You start the Mario movie comes out nowadays, and he fights against Bowser, right? Or maybe later, maybe earlier than that. He oh, you know, he would have gotten into like the Peaches thing, and he would have included that in his comic, and maybe he would have gone into the Mario universe maybe earlier than that. And what else does he like? Out of My Little Pony, I don't know anything about that shit. I don't know. It's very interesting to think about, huh? Maybe he fights Thanos. I don't know. It's crazy. Huh. I'm starting to get a little bit too carried away here. Oh wait. Yeah. He fights villains from Sailor Moon to impress whatever her name was. Yeah. Oh, he fights Megatron. Of course, stupid. Of course, he fights Megatron. Comes down. Yeah. He Megatron. That was very important shit in like early Christian times, like ancient prehistoria. Yeah, and he defeats it with a cursey Kamehameha. Yeah, and some like super hot Instagram cosplayer falls in love with him because he like saves the world or something. Make love to me, Christian, please. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, my imagination is running wild right now. What kind of things Christian was into? I don't remember. Like that was a lot. The possibilities are just endless, you know. Yeah. Who knows what kind of characters and people would have appeared in the comic instead of the ones that we know. It's too much to think about right now. This is Richie. This is more like Bizarro Christian. This is Richie Chan's. This could be Richie Chan's story. Yeah, it never got told because his parents were old, right? And he was in Mexico, so he's probably got access to the internet or in 2008 or something, 2009 or whatever. His parents are Beto Chanderos, Beto Chan. Hey, why is every name just Beto? Alberto, Humberto, Roberto. They're all Beto. That's boring. I never thought of that. Anyways, Barbara and Beto, his parents, they were old, and he was in Mexico, so nobody had like very just like two people had access to the internet. No, not really, but there was like people weren't really on the internet that much, and barely anybody had a computer. So he just stayed there doing Sonichu. No, doing Super Mario Ketchum. And since he wasn't really in the internet until later on, he never got trolled because nobody, no, not a lot of people, since he was in Mexico, no, not a lot of people were on the internet, and the people that were like in normie shit like MySpace, and it was the Spanish side of the internet, so nobody gave a fuck anywhere. So he never got trolled, and so the comic got the good ending, the true ending. Huh. Oh wow. So, anyways, I don't want to make this any longer. I think I'll talk too much. I think I talked enough. So this issue was very short. I liked it though. It's fun. You know, it's actually funny. Like in the wrong way, but it's so silly that it's funny. It's so dumb that it's funny. But I still enjoy it. He's making very overused tropes, but he's making an original story. I have a little bit of like a soft spot for that era of Christian story, Christian lore. I find it endearing. It's also it was so long ago. It's crazy to think that it was so long ago because I feel that I still have it a little bit fresh in my mind, and I still remember myself in that era. And I was actually not too different from him in some aspects, of course, but I was just like a loner too, fucking lonely kid in my room doing comics. So just that era in particular, I'm very nostalgic for that era, even though it wasn't a good era, but it was still, I don't know, there was some purity to just the way you are when you're young, you know. In the last issue, I said that I was like 12 when he made Sonichu. I was wrong. That was a lie. I wasn't 12. I was mistaking dates because I was like talking on top of my head. No, I was like 15 or something. No, 16, 17. 16, something like that, when he made Sonichu. He made it in 2004. Yeah, so I was like 2004, 2005, so I was like 16, 17. Yeah, so a lot of people that I met throughout my life ended up having a very similar situation in life in that era. I think that era in particular, for a certain age group, was very similar. It was an era of sad teenagers before the internet as we know it right now. That's another thing. Like, the internet was so different, and I don't think he would have made Sonichu if he was like in the internet as if the internet was as it is right now. He wouldn't have made Sonichu. He would have been just like tweeting or something. He wouldn't. I kid you not. I promise you, he wouldn't. Whoa, look. You see what I was talking about? I said I wanted to stop. I had talked enough, and look at me. So I'm gonna end it. I don't want to do. I mean, I want to, but I don't think I should. I'm not gonna do a card opening. I want to save those for whatever kind of occasion. I don't know. I don't want to do one for each video. This video is long enough, and that was because it was the first video. I don't know. I'm gonna see what criteria I use for the opening of the, for the ceremonial opening of the cards or whatever, of the cards. Okay, yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah, okay. See you in the next one. So, since I didn't do the ceremonial opening of the cards that I did last time, I'm gonna do a little consolation prize because I was giving it a last thought if whether I did it or not, and I'm not gonna do it, but I found something else in the drawer where I had the pile of cards there, and it's a present that I have that don't tell, because this is a present that I have for somebody that I tend to cheat in the presents department. I have this little cheating thing that I do because in case I forget or in case I don't find something good for presents in birthdays or Christmas. I don't give presents to everybody, but when I do, I tend to have this little system of just buying things throughout the year, like little things that I know that person likes, and I am assuming that they're not watching. I'm assuming they don't watch my videos. I hope. So it's so yeah, and I store them there, and I have a pile of stuff in case I forget or I don't find something good enough or what they wanted or exactly what they wanted or exactly what I wanted to give. So I have like little things here to use as filler, or if I don't feel confident about the gift that I'm gonna give away, I fill it with other stuff to make at least more bulk and have it more presentable that way. Anyways, what I had was I found this, but this is not the thing we're gonna look for right now. It has something to do with Sonichu, but this is not it. Is this Mimi Q plush toys for kids? Don't give for boys children. New, made in China. That's it. I thought it was funny.